Good morning. My name is Paolo de Renzio. I'm a senior research fellow with the International Budget Partnership. The IBP is one of the lead stewards for the Global Initiative for Fiscal Transparency, and we've been meeting here. I've been presenting some of the preliminary results of two research projects that I'm involved in with GIFT. The first one is a joint paper with Joachim Wehner from the London School of Economics. We look at all of the evidence that exists out there about the impacts of fiscal openness. When we say fiscal openness, we mean both transparency and participation in fiscal matters. And what we did was look at all of the available evidence, studies, reports, journal articles, books, book chapters that look at some type of impact that interventions related to fiscal openness have had at different levels. So, for example, impact on the quality of budget processes, quality of budget outcomes, governance-related outcomes, and hopefully, in the end, development outcomes, looking at development indicators such as health or education. So we found 38 articles or pieces of work out there that look at this issue, and we found some encouraging results. There are still quite a lot of gaps in the evidence, but all of the evidence that exists, some stronger, some weaker, points to positive impacts that transparency and participation in fiscal policy can have on a range of different types of impact. Many of these are related to intermediate outcomes, I should say, linked, for example, to improved fiscal discipline or better macro-fiscal outcomes when governments publish more information. But there are some more detailed evidence that looks at linkages between specific types of fiscal disclosure and very interesting outcomes relating to lower corruption, improved accountability, and in some cases, better development outcomes, especially in the education sector. On the side of participation, we also have found some pretty interesting results. The more governments open up avenues for citizen engagement in budget processes, the more they see improved resource allocation, improved quality of service delivery, and in some cases improved development outcomes, in this case in the health sector. So in this paper we pull all of this evidence together and we point to some interesting ideas for future research where we think that there are some major gaps. A second project that I want to briefly talk about actually looks at a mirror question. While the impact paper looks at the consequences of fiscal transparency, GIFT and IBP are also very interested in the question of why governments decide to adopt transparency and fiscal openness reforms. And this is related to the issue of incentives. What are some of the key incentives that governments face that lead them to adopt and sustain transparency and participation reforms over time? And as part of this project, there are three components to it. The first component is based on a set of think pieces where we commissioned renowned academics and practitioners to sort of tell us or at least sort of give to us all of their knowledge accumulated over years of research and experience on some of these key questions. And then we are currently carrying out a set of interviews with senior policymakers, former politicians, individuals who are seen as transparency champions in their countries to try and get their own testimony about why it was that they decided to introduce these reforms, what were some of the challenges that they faced, where did the pressure come from, and how they responded to such pressure. So we're currently interviewing former or current ministers and vice ministers from South Africa, from Brazil, from the Philippines, from Afghanistan. We have a few more planned for Uganda, Liberia, and Mexico. And we hope in the next few months to basically bring all of this evidence together. On the GIFT website, you can already find the think pieces and a synthesis note that talks about common findings from these think pieces. Over the next few months, you will also be able to find a transcript of the interviews and some of the results that are coming out of these different interviews. We think these are very interesting research projects that can contribute to the common agenda that GIFT and IBP have, alongside many other actors in this field. And we hope that you will be interested and you can go to the GIFT website and find out more about our research.